Hey guys, so I just came across this pretty interesting article um, entitled "Why Warren Buffett's Protege Just Bought This Dirt Cheap Brick and Mortar Retailer," and this article is on Nasdaq.com. So this is interesting because Dillards is a department store, and as you know, many of these department stores have been closing down, especially like JC Penney, as I mentioned here, and its bankruptcy. And the question is, why everyone's selling these shares, because especially during COVID, no one's out there shopping at department stores. So this is a popular article because Warren Buffett's, as they say here, younger lieutenant at Berkshire Hathaway, uh, Ted Weschler, who joined in 2011, he bought 1.08 million shares, which is about 6% of the store's or company's outstanding shares, which is a lot considering. And I'm going to go to the Robinhood right now to type in Dillards to see what the stock is at. DDS, Dillards. So the 1 month chart here, actually we're going to look at 1 year chart. So you could see since February it's been slowly declining, and then September 25th, and then once this news hit, it jumped back up to $55 from around like 23. So it's like almost double the stock price once this news broke that Berkshire Hathaway invested about 6% of Dillard's shares, or bought 1.08 million shares. So there are three reasons I've read why they actually bought this, and the first one is owning its real estate. So most department stores rent out the space. Not unfortunately, but fortunately for Warren Buffett's sake, Dillard's actually owns the real estate. So Buffett and his team actually valued those buildings that they owned as part of their assets on the balance sheet, and that helped them value the company and show that this company, despite the fact that the sales were not great over the past 6-7 months, they still have the real estate which appreciates, and that's on their books. So that's number one, owning the actual real estate. So that was a big part of the reason why they invested so much into this company. Now, the second part here is invested ownership. So, like it says here, even if a company is trading below its liquidation value, a company's management can fritter that value away through cash burning decisions. So, one example that comes to mind is GameStop, where they were just, they're going downhill and they just tried to do comic books and all these kind of like promotions, which didn't help, and they just burn all their cash. Um, as it says here, fortunately, management was pruning underperforming stores and selling off properties in a slow, methodical manner. And it has also managed to keep up its free cash flow through expense and inventory control, as it says here, even as the overall business is showing slight declines. I mean, that's the same for most of the department stores in during COVID time. Everything's pretty much shut down. But this company actually performed better due to its invested management, and they're all on the same page of keeping the company afloat rather than just jumping ship. So that's number two, and Warren Buffett and his team definitely knew that about the highly invested management and workforce, and that's why Weschler got behind the stock, as it says here. So the third and final reason that I read that they invested is that the results weren't that bad. So each quarter, each company, usually, especially public companies, report their earnings, and analysts try to predict how the companies will have performed over the past quarter, so they could predict what the value is. So analysts actually predicted them to be much worse, um, have much worse net loss than they did, and in fact, they only had 8.5 million net loss last quarter, because of impressive cost controls. So with that, and this kind of ties into the invested management where they prune the underperforming department stores, and they kept the ones that were still profitable. And Buffett always and his team always invest for the long term. So even though it's not doing well now, doesn't mean in the future that real estate and business will be the same spot it is now, around 24. And even and once this news broke, this even bolstered the stock even more to $55. And honestly, I don't really know too much about it to know what the actual value is, so I'm not going to invest in it. But it's just a cool story to see what Warren Buffett and his team actually look for in undervalued companies. And this is a company that they understood, and they valued the company at the 20, 25 mark, as even though it was declining, still undervalued. And that's why they purchased about 6% of the company. And that's about it. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments. If this was interesting. I mean, it was interesting to me, so I wanted to make an article about it, making a video about it, about the article. But let me know if you have any questions, or if you're interested in seeing more of these if I come across them. Just trying out different types of videos, so any feedback is appreciated. Thanks for watching.